Well, welcome back to Palm Springs Unwrapped. If you're looking for an afternoon of fun, laughter, and captivating old Hollywood stories told by well-renowned actors, then make sure to get your tickets to selected shorts at McCallum Theater Sunday, February 4th. And here to tell us more about this show is very successful actor Joshua Malina. Joshua, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
I am so excited to talk to you because you are, obviously, everyone knows you from the countless things that you have done, the Big Bang Theory scandal, the West Wing. You started your career on Broadway with A Few Good Men, which I love because my husband's a Marine. But I have to ask, you've done so many different things. How does preparing for these shorts, these stories on stage differ, or is it similar to preparing for a monologue on a show and a Broadway show?
That's a great question. It's more similar to theater than it is to TV work because the challenge of TV is essentially doing little bits of material at a time over and over and over and over until you get one that you like. And the beauty of theater is that it all happens in the moment, and that if you're doing a play and something goes wrong, you have to deal with it as it happens. And that's the same when reading a story. Live performance for me ultimately is a little bit more exciting than working in front of a camera, although that's good too.
Right? Yeah. I have to ask, I'm curious. I feel like I know the answer. Are you doing funny stories? Because I know you're a very comedic guy. Are these funny stories or are they a little bit of both?
Nice to say. Well, I think the theme this time around, or rather I know, is old Hollywood. I will say that my piece is brief and very funny. It's by Tanya James. It's very, very well written, and it sort of takes a comically jaundiced look at Indiana Jones and whether he has lost step with our times. It's very fun.
Goodness. Okay, I'm excited to see this story, and especially having you share it. I figured since you're going to be sharing some stories at McCallum Theater, I thought we could, talk a little bit about some of your stories. So do you have a favorite story from your entire career that I know you've been doing for many, many years? Is there a favorite moment, favorite story you like to share from being a successful actor like yourself?
Great question. You're nice to say. I think one of the pivotal moments of my career, for better or worse, came as a result of my being on Broadway in A Few Good Men way back in 1989, as a result of my friendship with Aaron Sorkin. So I got the fast track to at least the beginnings of success because I was friends with a great writer who wanted me to be in his play.
Yeah.
And one of these small perks of being in a Broadway show, at least back then, was that you got to participate in the Broadway Bowling League. And so we would go and bowl once a week. The guys from A Few Good Men would bowl against the cast of A Chorus Line, and fun was had. And Aaron, as the playwright, would always join us. And on one particular night, he bought a huge tray of cheeseburgers for everyone, took a comically large bite of a cheeseburger before he got up to bowl, and then fell to the ground and appeared to be choking. And what we took to be shtick, or joking around, soon it became clear that he actually was choking. And in a rare example of my performing with any kind of grace under crisis, I Heimlicked him, and this giant hockey puck of hamburger actually was dislodged. And he survived. And I like to say, maybe related, maybe unrelated, I have gone on to appear in most things that he's written since that moment.
That was the bond right there when you saved his life.
I think maybe, yeah. So if you're watching me and you're like, how does that guy get work? He's not very good. It might have a connection to the story I just told.
Well, you are very talented, but I will say now it's good to know if you, save someone's life from choking, maybe you'll be in a couple of their movies. So good note.
I have young people will come to me, young would-be actors, and they want advice, and I'm always like, Heimlich someone who's more talented than you are. For me.
And it'll take you really far in life. So those are the quotes by Joshua. I love that story. That's amazing. Bowling League. And then I have to ask you too, and this is a side note, but then you got to play in the film A Few Good Men. What was that like, transitioning from the Broadway show to the film?
That was very exciting because it was, although I played a very, very small role in the movie, it was my first movie ever, and I did get to interact with Kiefer Sutherland and J.T. Walsh and all these great actors, and I actually had a one-on-one with Jack Nicholson. So it was a real it was a huge thrill for a young actor to be able to work with a star like that. And Nicholson couldn't have been any nicer or more encouraging to me. So it was a very nice and encouraging entry into film work.
Right. Most of the time you're starting on a short film. You're starting with Tom Cruise, Jack Nicholson. So no big deal there for starting
Again,
out.
I got very, very, very lucky.
Right. Yeah. Great start to your career. Now, I also know another story I'd like to hear from you. I know you're quite the prankster. I've heard several stories from Scandal, from The West Wing. Do you have a favorite prank story that you like to share?
Well, sure. I guess one of my glory days of pranking took place when I was on The West Wing many years ago at this point. Jimmy Smits, fantastic actor, joined the cast not long before Valentine's Day, and he was working very closely with Brad Whitford. And Janelle Maloney, who played Donna on the show, and I sent an enormous bouquet of flowers to Jimmy from Brad Whitford. And I had stolen from Brad's, he's an old friend of mine, going back to A Few Good Men. I had stolen from his trailer some monogrammed or, personalized stationery. So it really seemed to be from Brad. And we had this overdone bouquet delivered to Jimmy on set. And apparently, unfortunately, I wasn't working that day, but apparently it was super awkward because I think Jimmy thought that Brad had a huge crush on him. Brad, of course, knew immediately that I was behind it, but let me implicate Janelle as well because it was also her idea.
My goodness, that's amazing. Hopefully someone got video of that at least, that you got to enjoy that moment. Did you get pranked back for that?
It exists only in some people's memory. It was not. It was before the day of an iPhone in everyone's pocket, sadly.
Did anyone ever prank you back for that? Did they get you back with these pranks?
Yes. I've gotten, yes. If you see, the entire cast of A Few Good Men was on the Ellen show surrounding the finale. And at one point she brought out cakes, a separate cake with each of our likenesses on it, or our characters. And I saw Jimmy Smits lean over and whisper to Richard Schiff. What I found out later, I couldn't hear him, but I found out later what he said is, I'll give $5,000 to your favorite charity if you smash Josh's face in that cake. And you can find the YouTube video somewhere. The entire cast hunted me down like an animal and did, in fact, smash the cake in my face.
No way.
So revenge was enacted.
Yeah, at least, see, they got video of that. So that's unfair because you didn't get video.
That one's on video,
moment.
exactly. As far as my thing, maybe I didn't do anything.
I guess you got to do it again, so you get this one on video. So there you go.
I like your thinking.
See, we're on the same page. Now I have to ask you, because I was listening to an interview where you're coming here to Palm Desert. I heard you took up pickleball with your recent Broadway cast. Are you planning on playing any pickleball here? And are you getting better at the game?
I'm definitely getting better. I played maybe once every couple weeks when I was doing Leopoldstadt, New York. Now that I'm back to LA, and of course was on strike for a long time, and now I'm just unemployed, I've got a lot of free time. I think I play 5 times a week now. So yes, I've become pickleball obsessed, and I do think I'm improving, although I may be plateauing. I got to take it to the next level.
Oh my goodness. Well, this is great. I feel like, they have a pickleball tournament here a couple weeks ago, so maybe next year, you'll be competing with the pros.
Play. Yeah, maybe I'll bring the paddle.
Well, Joshua, thank you so much for taking time with us today. You were incredible to talk to.
Thank you. I hope people will come out and see the show.
Yes, no, definitely. Joshua, thank you so much again. You can catch Joshua Malina at McCallum Theater on February 4th. You can get your tickets online at mccallumtheater.org.